quick life update as I'm going through the airport. I actually left Bangkok and I am now living in Hanoi, Vietnam. Hey y'all, it's your favorite host, Ariel BTV, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you are returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, so I have my pajamas on. We sit on the couch because we're about to get into this story time, okay? Grab your tea. Come on, we're going to talk about why I left Bangkok and moved to Vietnam in just a few months. Okay, for starters, let's start off with, we're gonna start with some of the cons. So moving abroad, the biggest thing that you're trying to figure out is what feels like home. You're away from your family, you're away from your friends, and you're trying to figure out, where are my people? How can I navigate this new journey? Because the journey, a lot of people don't talk about it, but although you see all the highlights on social media, see all the great things, there are a lot of low moments. There are a lot of moments where you feel lonely. There's a lot of moments where you're confused on what to do. There's a lot of moments where you miss home and you're like, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, or is it really what I'm supposed to be doing? Can I go back? Is this season up? So you feel a lot of those emotions. I know I do. The first few months were rough for me, like constantly in and out of depression, just sad, just always feeling lonely because I just didn't know what was next. And so figuring out what feels like home when you're abroad is the biggest thing for me. So I ended up coming to Vietnam maybe like a few months back when I was getting my DTV visa when I was living in Thailand. So you have to leave the country, get your visa. So I ended up coming to Vietnam to get my visa. When I tell you, I fell in love with the culture, I fell in love with the people, I fell in love of just how they treated you and how you were treated. Like if you needed something, if you were lost, but just the hospitality, like even my Airbnb hosts, like they got me like bouquet of roses. They were so loving. I remember I was sick coming, like I went to 4 different cities in Vietnam. So check out my Instagram to see where I went, fun things to do, or you can just download my itinerary in my bio. But I ended up getting really sick at the end of my Vietnam trip, and I just remember my Airbnb host, she literally came to my room, bought me some food, bought me some medicine, got all of my dirty clothes. Like I didn't even have the energy. I didn't even know what hit me, y'all. I didn't know what hit me, but I didn't even have the energy to like literally get up. Like she got all of my dirty clothes out of my suitcase, washed them, folded them, and brought them to my room the next day as I was checking out. And that to me right there, like it felt like my mom. I was like, oh my gosh, like I've been missing this. I've been missing this touch. I've been missing this feeling of home. And so I went back to Bangkok. I already wasn't like, I knew I showed y'all the apartment tour and all these great things, but I wasn't really feeling living in Bangkok. Like Bangkok was more like, it felt like a great place to do like a pit stop and like, but living there and visiting are completely different. And it just didn't feel like home to me. A lot of people come abroad or they go to Bangkok and they say, oh, it's cheap in Asia. Something being cheaper versus cheap is two different things. Like, I don't think living abroad is cheap. It's cheaper. You know, you have a cheaper quality of life, but it's not cheap. Things can add up really quickly. And you're not like, once you start living a place, like once you're traveling somewhere, you're eating the food, you're eating different things, but you're not eating, like once you live there, you're not going to eat the same thing every day. So you're not going to eat the same chicken and rice. I know I did for the first month and I'm like, all right, listen, I ain't got no more chicken and rice, pad thai. Like I'm out of it, you know, every single day, 2 times a day. So while I was living in Bangkok, we're going to talk about some of the cons. I can only talk about Bangkok specifically. I know a lot of people get on this app and they're like, before y'all come for me, my experience is my experience. Everybody's experience abroad is going to be different. Everybody's going to have different interactions. Everybody's going to meet different people, and everybody's like experience or the people they meet will shape what their overall journey will be. Okay, so let's put that disclaimer out there. Okay, so when I was living in Bangkok, to me, it did not feel as welcoming. I did not feel welcome at all. I felt that it was very service-based. So if you buy something, if you purchase something, then I'll be nice to you. But I did not feel overall like that type of just like welcoming or happiness spirit. I felt like I was always a bother to the workers. I felt like I was always a bother to the people. And I just did not like the way that I felt. Like I felt like oh, like, oh, some days I'll even dread it leaving my house. Like, oh my gosh, like, do I have the mental capacity to deal with this? Like when someone always is treating you like you're bothering them, or maybe like rude, or just not really welcoming, sometimes it plays a toll on your mind. You're already going through so many different things at home, or you're missing home. And then it's like, oh, now I have to go through this. So I kind of felt like that. I felt like, I just felt that way. I just felt like every day I was a bother to them. So that was like the biggest con to me. But also just, I felt like it was very expensive. I feel like it was like, I think I would get like a burger and fries, like if you're craving some food from back home or whatever, for like 20 USD. And I'm just like, like my rent was cheap, but everything was adding up. And again, this is only for Bangkok. So I went to Chiang Mai. The people and the vibe and the energy was completely different. I loved my time there. Again, check out my itinerary on my bio, or what I did in Chiang Mai. But I loved the energy, the vibe, and it was so much cheaper. It was like you can really live there and have a great quality of life. But for Bangkok specifically, I did not feel welcome. I did not feel the love, and it just did not feel like home to me. And so I found myself just going in and out of like seasonal depression, or just fighting through every day, like, okay, just make it today, just make it today. And I was like, you know what? I don't have to live this life. I think a lot of people don't talk about when you're abroad, how to pivot. We always make pivoting a bad thing, right? But pivoting is also a great thing. It's the greatest thing, because you have free will, and you have to have that discernment to know, you know what, this isn't working. What else can I try? And so I just remember praying to God. I'm like, yeah, I kind of hate it here. Like, I don't really want to be here. I was teaching at the time, and teaching was going okay, but I was working like 10-hour days. The school was like 30 minutes away, and the staff just wasn't as kind as I would like to say. And so I'm not going to say racism was a big thing, but of course, colorism and different things like that do play a part in, who you are. I had students when I was teaching say, oh, like, their parents come up to me, oh, you're dark. Are you sure you're qualified to teach my kid? What do you know? And I'm like,
wow, man. Damn.
oh, I'm sorry. When I'm looking at the lineup of teachers, I'm the only one with the degree in here. So what's happening right now? And so, I mean, I get that. That's normal. You're going to experience those things. But a lot of those things and just those negative comments just really played a part on my journey and my experience and what I overall felt about the country. And so I just remember just like sitting in my room, I'm like, ooh, like I don't want to pack up all my bags. I don't want to leave. Like maybe I'll thug it out. Maybe I'll thug it out. And I'm like, when you get that ick for something, you're like, no, like it's time to go. And I was like getting that ick towards the end. I was like, you know what? It's time to go. And so that's exactly what I did. I remember I was like Thursday night, I was packing up my room. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this. Like, be mindful. I literally packed up all my room, bought a flight there, and I'm like, I'll figure it out. I booked the Airbnb for a few days, and I'm like, I'll go apartment shopping when I get there. I'll figure it out. I just know that I ain't staying here. And again, on this journey, like I keep saying, I don't know what's up ahead, but I know that I have to keep moving. I know that on the journey, I have to keep moving and asking God for direction and to order my steps so that I know which way to go and what to do. All right, boom. So I was in Vietnam. I landed in Vietnam. So I was here for about 24 hours. And then once I landed here, I was on the app. So I put some screenshots up of what exactly, like where to find housing, different things like that. Because again, I want to give you tangible resources. And if you have questions, put them in the comment or set up some time with me. Let's chit chat. But I was looking on like Hanoi housing, Da Nang housing, Da Nang. I always kind of mess that up. But anyways, I was looking on the Facebook groups because they post different housing and then they post the pricing and they post everything. So I remember I landed here for 24 hours. I had 3 apartments lined up. I was like, hey, I'm in Hanoi. Like, can you show me some apartments? Yeah, boom. So then I ended up going to 3 places. Well, I had 3 places lined up. I went to the first place. Mold everywhere, super old. Okay, so Vietnam is known for having a lot of mold. So when you go to apartments, you need to be on the lookout for that. Just because of the moisture in the air and just the humidity here is just mold. So for me, I was like, I need a brand new apartment. Like that's non-negotiable. Can't deal with the mold. it's a lot of stuff already going on, can't deal with it. So I went to the first apartment, had mold everywhere. I was like, yeah, no. Went to the second apartment, and when I tell you, like, I felt it in my spirit. I was like, oh, this is home. Like, this is home. Like, this is where I want to be. Like, the landlord was so kind. She was so beautiful. Like, her energy, her spirit. She was like, are you hungry? Let's go grab some food. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I told her, all I remember, I was telling her, like, hey, I want to learn how to ride a motorbike. Like, that was like the biggest thing that I wanted to learn how to ride in Vietnam, just because calling grabs every day and things like that, I faced that in Bangkok, and it's just, the cost really adds up. You spend about $200-300 on transportation. So I was like, I really want to learn how to go ride the motorbike. And she was like, okay, I'm going to teach you. I remember the next day, she was like, hey, are you ready? Her and her family, her husband, her kids, everybody came, picked me up. We went to go learn how to ride the motorbike, and then we went to dinner. And from there, it was honestly just the energy of somebody welcoming you in. Like, they don't know me from a can of paint, but literally I'm like, hey, I'm hungry, or hey, I don't know where this is. And she was like, okay, let me go show you where this is. This is where you need to get this done. This is what you need to do. This is who you contact. And I'm like, it was just the feeling of that I've been looking for when I moved abroad. It was the feeling of just someone, yes, everybody isn't going to be kind. I'm not delusional, but but delusion does take you a long way. But I felt like it was a sense of someone caring. Since I started this journey in October, I haven't felt that. Like, someone honestly taking the time out to care, to make sure that I'm okay, to see if I need anything. I remember I got really sick when I came here, because just the change in climate and just the humidity and the moisture. Like, I got really sick, and she was like, let me take you to the pharmacy. Let me get you some medicine. To the point, y'all, I could not get out of bed for like 4 days. And it was just, that was the feeling that I was looking for. And so once I did that, I was like, you know what? This was that feeling that I felt when I came here for my visa. Like, this is that feeling. And it's just like, it felt amazing. But we're also going to talk about, even on top of the feeling, we're going to talk about the pros, which are the cost of living. So the apartment that I have right now, as you guys can see, I put some little clips on the screen. It is $150 cheaper. So it's $400, and Wi-Fi and everything's included. I think I only have to pay for water, which is like 10 USD, if that. And then you get a weekly cleaning for, I think, like $3 extra or something like that. That's optional. And so that, to me, was huge. My motorbike, his name is Cody. Y'all say what's up to Cody. And so he is like $40 USD a month, which is nothing. Gas, I fill up on gas maybe like once a month, and that's like $5 USD. So yeah, like, already we're cutting that cost significantly in half. And then I would go to the grocery store. I ended up getting some steak, shrimp, some fish, some chicken wings, and just like some little knickknacks or whatever for like 50 USD. I was spending like $250 on groceries every week in Thailand for just like the most basic stuff. And so that already, to me, was the biggest selling point. I was like, all right, I'm spending a lot of money and I'm not really saving any money. So that was one of the pros of living in Vietnam. The cost of living, and also just like the people. Like, people say it all the time on social media. I'm sure you see it, but the people here in Vietnam, to me, are truly a gem. Cons to living into a new place. So one of the cons, I would say, in living in Vietnam is, of course, the traffic. I stay in Hanoi, so Hanoi is super busy, especially if you go around Old Quarter. I do not drive over there. They will knock your head off and they will not give a damn, okay? They will keep driving, and sometimes I'm like, damn, you just don't hit me. So yes, but I would say the traffic, but maybe just the moisture. Just some of the moisture. It's very like humid here, so your walls, or like when you take a shower, it feels like the house is like melting in a sense. I don't know how to really describe that, but if you don't care about that, that's not really a con for you. But to me, I just feel like wet and icky sometimes, and I'm like, it's just grossing me out. And then maybe just like the weather, like the seasonal. I think Hanoi is similar to back home with like the autumn, spring, summer. It has like all of the the seasons, which is like versus like in Bangkok, I felt like it was more so like hot all the time, and I love that. And so I would say that's mainly a con for me. Not too many cons just yet. Again, I've only been here, haven't been here long, so I'm sure I'll have some more cons along the way or some more pros. I don't know. You just have to stay tuned to figure out. But I wanted to give you guys just a quick life update of why I moved from Bangkok to Hanoi. And to sum it all up, it was mainly just a peace of mind. I think that just figuring out yourself along the journey, like when a lot of people take this journey abroad, you really don't know what to expect. I think, and you have to also be mindful, everybody is on a different journey. Some people are on a journey of healing, some people are on a journey of just kind of partying, and then some people are on a journey from escaping life. Some people are on a journey of escaping trauma. They have bad relationships back home. They just so many different things. And when I meet people, I'm like, oh, okay, like you're on a different journey or you're on this. And there's no journey is better than the other. Like everybody's on their own personal journey, which is why I said my experience and why I didn't like Bangkok was solely my personal experience. Some people love it. Some people are there for 10, 12, 30 years. They love it. It just wasn't for me. And so, yeah, so that I just want you to keep that in mind when you watch like this or just other things, or even if you're looking to start your journey abroad, that your journey will be your journey. As far as visas here in Vietnam, I know a lot of you guys are wondering. So Vietnam is not as strict with the visa requirements as Thailand was, which is a plus. So you can stay in Vietnam for up to 90 days and then you have to do a visa run and just kind of reapply. You can do the multi-entry one. So I think that's like 50 USD where you can come in and out the country. That one's better for me because I'm traveling and backpacking Southeast Asia. So I want to be able to come in and out as I can. Or you can do the single entry for $25. But the visa run is pretty much after the 90 days, then you just pretty much leave the country for like a few hours or maybe a day, and then you come back in and just get a restamp, which is, I love that. A lot of people say Thailand used to be like that. I wasn't there when it was that way, but I love how flexible it is and just kind of how a little bit more affordable it is if you want to stay here. Now there are long-term visas that I haven't looked into. The long-term visas, I'm going to try it out for the first 90 days just to kind of see how I like it, what to expect, what's up ahead. So I do want to, let you guys know, like, try these countries out. Like, I went to Bangkok and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to sign a 12-month lease. And I'm like, no. Now I'm doing 2 months to 3 months just to see if I like it. And then if I don't like it, you can always move, pivot, and go to the next country. So keep that in mind. I hope this encouraged you. If anybody is looking to move to Vietnam or you have questions about Vietnam, I would love to answer them. Be mindful, Vietnam is a third world country. So as far as cleanliness, as far as kind of like germs and things like that, I have noticed that is a little bit more amplified here, which is, I'm not really gonna lie, I'm not a fan of, but it's just some of the stuff isn't as clean, like it's a third world country, so you have to expect certain things. So keep that in mind, and I will see you guys again on Tuesday and Thursday for another episode. All right, bye.